I love this camera, the Ursa Mini Pro G2, but it's but it's frustrating the hell about. Let's try that again. I love this camera, but it's frustrating the hell out of me. This is the beautiful Ursa Mini Pro G2 from Blackmagic, and I just want to take a moment to see if I can problem solve through an issue that I'm having. See if I need to send this back for repair or replacement again. Let's talk about it. So, to fill you in, so we got the Ursa Mini Pro G2 at the tail end of 2019. It's a beast of a camera, and I genuinely think nothing comes close at the price range. The only thing that does is the Canon C200, but that's missing any 10-bit codecs. And it does not have the same level of raw options in terms of compression that this camera features, nor does it have slow motion 120 frames per second, which I use a lot on this camera. What of course the C200 has is much better low light ability and that beautiful dual pixel autofocus. Now, the issue that I'm having with this camera, and the reason that I'm doing this video now, is it's cropped up a few times, and it seems to be getting worse. So we sent the camera in for repair. We're on a commercial shoot. I'll link to the video about that below. And it died. Just would not turn on. That got sent off. It was repaired. They repaired, it was a power board or a main board. Sorry, I can't recall exactly, but that was repaired and it was working. But what we've noticed intermittently is that the monitor will just sometimes not turn on. And this happened a couple of times earlier, but sometimes not turn on, or it'll just black out and it'll just require a turn off, turn back on to see it. Of course, you know, if you're shooting an interview, if you're shooting anything, you don't want to be dealing with that. Otherwise, it will, rather than go blank, it will go to like a pinkish color just across the screen, no detail. Now, yesterday I was on a shoot, and yes, I've certainly been on less since this whole thing that we're in started, but still filming. I was on a shoot yesterday, and the screen just decided to stop wanting to turn on altogether, and I had to switch. So I'd shot an interview using the Ursa and the 6K 2-camera interview, and after the interview, like basically we packed up all the gear. I was in an apartment, moving all the lighting and everything out so I could then go and shoot some B-roll in there. And I kept the 6K with me because I just didn't want to leave it in the van. And yeah, the camera just wouldn't turn on, and I was turning it off, turning it on. I still wasn't getting an image. And I had the EVF. Let's see, the EVF is, yeah, the EVF's working fine right now. I'll just take that off there. That's the Zacuto Gradical Eye. It's a really great EVF. And yeah, I just had to switch out and make a change really quick, which was a bit of a pain in the bum, because I was wanting to shoot it all at 100 FPS, and I had to shoot on 50 on the 6K. Got the job done. It was okay, but that wasn't really rigged up for. This was rigged up. This is the Zacuto VCT Pro base plate. I was rigged up with that to shoot off the shoulder. Yeah, that was all sort of set up and good to go. And yeah, it's a much better camera for that kind of stuff. Yeah, and so now I'm just tearing my hair out because it's an issue that seems to be getting worse. So we're likely gonna send this off and request a replacement. Like, I need a camera. Like, I love this camera and I want to just adore it and sing its praises. And when it's working, like, man, the image quality and all the features that it has, like, so long as you're getting exposure pretty good, like not perfect, but pretty good, you're going to be sweet. It's a beautiful camera. I just have issues with its reliability at the moment. So what I want to do, I just moved this, shouldn't have done that, because I've got a 6K set up there just shooting the screen. What I want to see if I can do is replicate the issue that I'm having. And what I've realized is I don't have the absolute newest firmware on here. So I'm wondering if part of the issue, at least, maybe it's some kind of firmware related thing, but this was not an issue that we were experiencing prior to the camera dying on us and then going off for repair. It's only an issue that we've experienced since it came back for repair. So let's have a look. I'll see if I can demonstrate it. Oh! On cue! This is exactly, holy crap. Hang on, let me focus this up. So this is exactly what's happening. What's that? I don't know if you can really tell, but the color's not showing up great on the 6K right now. But, so this is what happens. The whole thing just goes to this color. And, you know, you don't always have, you know, obviously you need to be able to operate. You need to be able to operate that. Or sometimes you're shooting an interview, you know, and you want to look at it for focus, and I don't necessarily always have the EVF set up when I'm doing an interview, because I'm sitting next to it. I punch in with the monitor, I check focus, and you can punch in whilst recording and check focus on this, which is fantastic. Can't do that when the monitor's not working. This is weird. Obviously I'd rather the camera like function perfectly and beautifully, but right now, like, I'm semi-relieved because, you know, it's kind of paranoid that, oh, I'll go and I'll do this and I'll try and get it to work, and the thing won't do it because I'm filming, but it did do it. But it's just happening, it seems to be happening more and more and more. And I'm like, oh, is it something to do with the rotation of this? But as you could see, you know, it was only a little bit. I'll try and keep the camera where it is so that 6K vision is okay. As far as I have experienced, because it's happened while I've been recording, the good thing is that it hasn't stopped. It just seems to be a display thing, like it's not stopping anything from recording. But it's not an like, I cannot trust this camera. I can't trust it. I go away for days or a week at a time shooting, you know, changing accommodation sometimes nightly, and like, I need to be able to totally trust the camera that I have with me. Love this camera when it works. It's just the reliability, and hopefully it's just this one. Like, I'm sure, you know, plenty of brands, RELXs, you know, they have service centers. You know, plenty of brands have their issues. So hopefully I've just got a bad egg. But at this point in time, considering it's already gone back for repair, and the issue started after that, and it's progressively gotten worse, I'd really like a replacement. What I'm gonna do is just see, so I'm gonna turn this off. I'm just gonna see, yeah, I'm still seeing the image in the EVF. So the image was still coming through there. For some reason on that EVF, the record light on the screen, it doesn't always come through. So I'm sending a clean feed to it, but that doesn't always connect and work. So I can't always see with this, am I recording or not? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, I don't know. All right, turning back on. All right, we're back. We're back on. The EVF is working. And I'm just, because I was like, is this a, you know, like, is it a, a lot of buttons on there. Oh, there we go. Now the screen is blank. So it's not showing as, I'm just checking this camera. Yeah. So it's not showing as, colorful now. It's, yeah, it's just blank. It does appear like it's on, like it's not like it's totally switched off. It looks like it's trying to display just black, if that makes sense. Not like there's no power in it. And if I adjust that, yeah, there's no change. See, so if I turn this off again, yep, screen's coming through to the EVF. Okay, now it's actually turned off. Let's keep it flat like that. I'll just try to turn this on again. Really frustrating. Really frustrating. I mean, yeah. I was fortunately with a client who I know really well, and they're very understanding, and I had the 6K there. It took a bit more time, and I don't think I was able to do as good a job as I would have done had I had the Ursa. So now I've turned it off and back on, and I'm getting nothing. What about the EVF? EVF, I'm getting nothing. So this is what happened on the shoot. It you can see here, like I've got plenty of power in this battery. I'll turn this off again. We'll just turn it off for a bit longer. Do. Let's see. Yeah, and that yesterday was actually a new issue for me. I hadn't had it, other than prior to repair when it wouldn't turn on, I hadn't experienced that, just the screen. Okay, now the screen's back on. We're getting the EVF signal through. I'm gonna hit record, and I'll just see if this will happen again while I'm recording. And I can see my green light. Sorry, I haven't got a clean image out to this. I've got I've got everything there, but sometimes sometimes information doesn't show up. Yeah, that's demonstrated it pretty good. And then, it might work fine for a while. Like I was up north on a shoot for a few days just before all this stuff, everything in the world kind of changed, and Niggle, I had that pinkish screen thing happen probably twice, maybe, can't remember exactly, over those couple of days, but fortunately it wasn't at really crucial moments, but it's just progressively gotten worse, and the fact of the matter is I can't depend on the camera. And I know that this is tremendous value for money. This camera, what it offers at its price point, is unbelievable, and I think there's lots of people with much more expensive cameras that if they gave this one a shot, they would be like, whoa, because you just think, because it's not a Red or it's not a Canon or a ARRI or something, I think some people just discount it, but I was 100% one of those people. I'm saying this while the camera's stuffing up, but look, at the moment, I mean, that's just recording. That's been recording for nearly 2 minutes now. I'll just let it go for a bit. I'll just skip forward in the video. We'll just see if that stuffs up. It's all coming through there. Let's stop recording. And now one of the issues is, because I'm on the shoulder, sometimes I'll open this to go into the menu to change something. For example, let's say I'm shooting 90% of what I'm shooting at Q5, and then I have a very busy scene and I want to shoot something at Q0 or 5:1 or whatever. I'll pop this in. sorry, it'd be like this. I'll pull it down. I'm opening up and I'm going into the menu to make adjustments. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, obviously it's kind of working okay, but it's stuffing up far too often. And yeah, when it happens in the presence of a client at a time when you need to be able to depend on it, part of the reason that they hire you is that they depend on you because you're reliable. I'm only as reliable as my tools that I choose. So I need to get this thing to a reliable level. To a reliable level, to function reliably, or else yeah, I need to replace it or I need to look at something else. But I freaking love this camera. I don't want to look at something else. I just want to get it. I'd like to get a replacement because this has already been in for repair. But what I want to do first is update the firmware. So I'm going to turn all this off. This is recording again another minute at the moment. We're going to turn all this off. We're going to update the firmware, see if I can replicate the issue. I literally was just about to speak and the screen just turned to this pinkish purplish color again. What am I getting on the EVF? I'm getting a screen. So when it goes like that, yeah, I am still getting, no, now I'm just getting static. And this I think happened yesterday before it cut out. The EVF is just like just static. Hang on, am I recording on the 6K? I'm not recording. That's ridiculous. So I'll record. So the screen's gone purple again. I wonder if on the 6K, I'm gonna take it off. I'll try and show, I'll just take it off here. Oh, I'm not recording audio. I'm still recording. I've been recording audio this whole time. What a waste of battery power. Okay, it's all good. I'm gonna take this off. Oh, and there's a quick release plate. That's a bit, oh no, I gotta take it all off. It's all good. There we go. All right, let's see, because I've got 100 macro. Oh, I've got a macro on here. Look at this, beautifully. This is how I was shooting handheld. Shooting the B-roll just like this. So we can see, where are we? We've got our purple nothing screen here. Beautiful footage, but let me try and show you what I'm seeing. If I can show you that. That is now what I'm getting in the EVF. And it changes every few seconds, see? Weird. It kind of looks like one of those, do you remember those like books when we were kids and they had like the 3D thing and you had to stare at it for ages and then there was an image in it? That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah. So look, let me put this back on. So, yeah, basically unusable at the moment. I just wonder if I'd attach the SDI point, let's put that back on. And now I've got, yeah, I got nothing. It's just, oh no, yeah, it's gone back to the static again. Back to the static. I downloaded the 6.9.2 firmware update installer, plugged my Ursa in, and it said it's got version 6.5.1 on it, and that's up to date. So maybe all the other firmware updates, because it's the same firmware camera utility app for all their cameras, so maybe those other updates have actually been for other cameras. It's saying this is up to date. That was going to be my next step to see, you know, is there some kind of bug in the firmware, and maybe that update will fix. But the fact that it was never doing this before it died, and then that this has only occurred since repair, I don't think this is really, yeah, I'd really like a replacement. Yeah, as I've said, I'd really like a replacement at this point in time. I guess I find this so frustrating because I'm such a huge fan of this camera, and it boggles me. Like, I'm so stoked that it's the price that it is for the performance and the features that it delivers. So I'm hoping I just have a bad egg and I can get that replaced, get a more reliable replacement, and off we'll go. I got the 6K before getting this. I've had zero issues with that camera. I've had zero wishes. I've had zero issues with the X-T3, which is filming me right now. My old 5D Mark II still works. Yeah, it's very disappointing, and it's only made more disappointing by the fact that I love this camera so much. I want it to be the camera for me. And in almost every way, I mean, other than reliability, it's great. Yeah, no, okay, it doesn't have autofocus. Okay, it's not a low light camera, but that's what I have the dual native ISO 6K for it. Yeah, and I don't go and shoot in the dark. Autofocus would be good. It makes me think now, oh, is that what people are paying for with cameras like the C300 Mark III? Is that extra $6 grand, $3 grand for the autofocus, and $3 grand for the reliability? I don't know. All cameras have their issues, but yeah, hopefully I'll take this. It was bought locally and within Australia, so I'll let the shop know now. I'll drive down there tomorrow, send it off. I'll let you guys know. I'll request a replacement, because I don't think this is. I wouldn't be doing that if necessarily I hadn't already had issues. But you know, when the camera goes out, it's like, yeah, I can hire something else. For certain shoots, I may be able to get by with the 6K and the X-T3, but you know, the camera comes in a package with our team, and it pays for itself and it brings profit into the business. When a camera dies and you need that or an equivalent camera, I can't magically charge more. You know, we have within our rates the amount that higher costs, and that kind of pays for the camera. But you know, we have gotten ourselves into a situation where, you know, we don't have debt, and there's now we can make, you know, profit for both ourselves and the business for future investments. And you know, when you throw into the mix the need to hire an external camera, we do hire stuff all the time. It's not usually cameras though, it's more lenses, occasionally cameras for specialty shoots, but it's normally lenses, lighting, better gimbals than the ones we have, that kind of stuff. So yeah, look, sorry, probably ranted a bit there at the end, as always. Hey, if you got something out of this, enjoying our content, please leave a like. It helps with the way we show up in YouTube with its algorithm. If you haven't subscribed, be more content coming soon. Next video should be the Blackmagic Raw episode 2. Alright, thanks guys, see you soon. Stay safe, stay well, be good to your parents, all that stuff. Cheers.